mentioned a group of people living in the largely white community of Muirhouse, a housing estate in North Edinburgh, set up MARC, the Muirhouse Anti-Racism Campaign, in response to racial harassment in their area.
Maureen, could you tell us how the Muirhouse Anti-Racist Campaign started?
Well, it started over an incident that happened to one family living in the area. Maria came from Botswana and was black, and the husband was Scottish, he was white. But I don't think it was because it was a mixed family. I think the issue was certain members of the BNP didn't like black people, and the campaign was against Maria. But the reason Muirhouse people felt we had to start the campaign was because of all the other problems Muirhouse had had in the past regarding unemployment, bad housing, drugs. We did feel strongly that this was one problem that we weren't going to allow to accelerate. One thing we did do was we published a Challenging Racism in Scotland pack and a video, and that has now been bought not only in Scotland but groups down south. It was a success at the time, but there's a lot more work to be done.
It became obvious when the worker was in doing the anti-racist part of the project for community education. He started making links with black community in Pilton, and the next obvious stage from all the work that had gone on was that we should employ somebody to work with black community, to assist them in articulating their own needs.
I'm the adult education tutor of the Black Women Community Development Project. Basically, it's a women's group which is run weekly on Wednesdays from 12 till 2, and each week we discuss issues which affect, not only black women, but actually affect black women, but other issues, affecting us as women too. So we have, different discussions each week, anything that's relevant to our needs.
One day I went to the park next to that school, and there were children. There was this little girl, and the boy was hitting her, and she was trying to get away, and I couldn't resist. And then I said, "What's the matter?" And she said, "He's hitting me, bullying, you should say." And then he stopped because I was involved. And then the girl went away, and he took a big piece of brick, and he threw it towards her. And at that point, I was so scared. I said, "What's the point of bringing your children here, and if you're not sure what will be happening to them?"
I think if you come to a foreign country and if you don't really know what's going on, and especially if your husband is working all the time and you're at home looking after the kids, and you're really not sure how to go about looking for things or finding out what can be done for your children, for yourself, for your family, for anything, you feel isolated.
Well, I've been living in West Pilton for about 5 years now, and I have experienced problems, and my children have experienced problems as well. We've had racist attacks, we had our cars, windows broken, children throwing stones at the door, and the kids not being able to play out because they end up crying when they come in because kids have attacked them. So I haven't had a pleasant experience, I must say.
It's 3 years since the successful campaign of the Muirhouse Anti-Racist Campaign, and over the years there have been a series of short-term project workers, but now we have got full fund for the project, and we have got our own management committee which are made up of local black and white residents and professional advisors.
I'd never been involved in a management committee before. So when I was approached by the project worker, she said, "You'd be quite good. Would you be interested in taking part?" And I said, "I'll give it a go." I was a bit apprehensive at first because obviously I wasn't aware of what the type of work the management committees did. And it's been about 2 years I've been involved with the project, and I feel, it's increased my confidence, and also, my contributions were valued on the steering committee, no matter how small, and that boosted my confidence again. Obviously, I didn't know how I could myself attack the racism side of it, which is what I was facing. And it made me aware that, you know, this organisation could do that. This project could work with the white community, and I couldn't obviously tackle it by myself, and the project as a whole was doing that, which was quite pleasing for me, because the reason why I did stay on the 2 years, it was because, you know, I knew that project was doing something which would, at the end of it, would benefit me as well, my family, and it would improve the standard of living in the Greater Pilton area, and I would feel more confident and be able to challenge when I am faced with racism.
Hi, thanks for returning my call. Is the meeting will be?
I see the Black Community Development Project, and its first instance, developing confidence between the black and ethnic community, in order that they can tackle a whole range of problems, which they've been unable, and the confidence hasn't been there before. Because if you live in an area of economic deprivation, you suffer from that economic deprivation in terms of housing, access to jobs, access to education, irrespective of the colour of your skin. The Black Community Development Project then link in to the existing action groups that deal with these organisations with the remit to represent a pocket within inside the community that before has never raised its head against above the parapet.
The first thing obviously is helping the local black community to tackle and challenge racism, because that was the primary aim of the project, and it's also supporting some of the work of the local community. It's also saying that, you know, providing a facility and a service to the local black communities, saying that, you know, we've got recreation facilities here. I mean, the activities range from playing badminton to learning how to swim, playing table tennis. So there's a whole wide range of activities on a Sunday afternoon that people actually come and participate in. And it ranges from children as young as 4 up to grandparents, you know, 75, 80-year-olds coming. And I think it's fair to say that numbers of users have increased in the last 12 months.
We feel that because men mainly have their work, we target it mainly for women and then family as a whole. First of all, really because trying to get the women out, to get more confidence in themselves, in their environment, and also to get the kids to feel that they can run about, because you know how if they come here, the mother is not confident, the kids wouldn't be allowed out even to start with, and the husband is too busy to help out. So we also we provide the opportunity in the weekends for the father to come and be a family. Otherwise, you know, they would just be working, the mother would be in the house and getting stuck there and getting more and more depressed and doesn't know what to do. And it's not going to make a very happy family to start with. If you're not a happy family, you're not going to be a happy neighbor. And the problem just spiraled.
I think the reason why we originally adopted the recreation side of it was that the black people felt insecure, felt frightened of coming out individually, and it gave people an opportunity to get together and socialise and talk to friends on a social basis rather than to be out campaigning. But that's the first step of that anyway, on the side of that. And I think it also gives people more confidence to go out and challenge some of the issues around racism. And through those recreation activities, we've actually held various classes to look at racial incidents, looking at different structures, what to do if racial incidents take place, and so forth.
It was great. Everyone seemed to
Before I joined the project, I didn't know who the local councillor was, and since taken part in the project, I've actually seen them, talked to them. You know, it's helped me a great deal, and I know that if I do have problems now, I can lobby those councillors and MPs, and I know who to approach. And also my colleagues and my friends, I can advise them as well, who are the local people that we should be lobbying and campaigning for better treatment and better services in the area.
I think the project will develop in the way that it started developing. I mean, the whole response, the Mark campaign came from a response by the white community to a problem of racism within Muirhouse, and I think it has to be a kind of joint strategy all the way along between service providers, the black community, the white community in terms of anti-racist education, and the Black Community Development Project continuing to work in partnership with organisations already existing in the area.
Any black community development project in Polton, any project in Polton, must have and take on board the ethos of what people in Polton desire and what they are trying to achieve.
I think the project has demonstrated that the local black and white people can actually get together and fight racism jointly, and also local residents have been supporting each other and trying to rid local racist activists, and they've actually, you know, said, look, we don't want you here, you know, and that's what's happened. And to me, that's demonstrated a very good theme for other projects to be saying, look, you know, if a project in Polton can do that, other projects should be taking a model from that.
What I'm hoping to get out of it is to really see the Asians and the Chinese living in Polton to enjoy themselves instead of just living as, you know, as they are. Enjoy the city, enjoy Scotland.
I've been on the group now, on the project committee now for the last 18 months, 2 years, and what that's shown me is that the project is able to stand on its own 2 feet and demonstrate a need that it is politically recognised. The project has also said to me that, or saying to me that it has been able to fulfil some of the requirements that and the wishes of the black community in the local area. And one of those requirements has been to need for recreation facilities. And I think the project has managed to achieve that.
Well, in the future, we would like to see developing the existing working relationships we have with the education department, with social work, with the police, with health board, housing department, and with other local agencies. And by working together in collaboration, by educating the community about racism, and by raising the society's awareness, I think we can achieve what we all are looking for.